15, 10, 5, touchdown, Kansas City. Handoff, Damian Williams trying to get to the edge, breaks a tackle, 35, 30, Damian Williams, 20, stays in bounds, 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Kansas City. Damian Williams runs to immortality and will be remembered forever in the Chiefs' kingdom. A 38-yard touchdown run, and the Chiefs lead 30-20.
Welcome in, everybody, to your Chiefs postgame show, Chatting Up the Chiefs. I'm just going to kick it to you, Brian. I don't have a ton for this. My soul has been stripped from my body, and I know you said you had a lot of words when we were talking before the show, so hopefully we can ease some people's pain, including my own. Brian, take it.
Well, I don't know about easing the pain. I'm probably going to pour alcohol on it because we need some medicine. This team was not focused today. Clearly with the special teams, you know, Sky Moore had a problem with the sky, and we talked about the opening of the roof before the game, like minutes before the game. We talked about them opening the roof, and that was the thing that set off the Colts and their false confidence. That was the only touchdown they scored. The only one they scored was the one after the Sky Moore muff punt. And you sit here and you think about, what would have happened if we just would have gotten, you know, the ball at the 25-yard line or whatever. You know, would the Colts had even came close to scoring anything other than that, you know, the couple other field goals that they got. You know, so yeah, special teams was a big issue in this game, of course. But man, I'm not putting it on the special teams. They're part of it, but I'm pointing my finger at 90. I don't want to point a finger because that's not good teamwork. But I think 95 deserves a lot of the blame today, at least most of it. If you just shut your mouth and get off the field, and I know that's not in a sense of competition, and when you on the field and you doing your thing, especially today, because the defense had a reason to walk around with their chest up and with a little swagger. But man, that's all the more reason for you to get off the field, though. Like saying we're dominating you. You're doing nothing today. I'm dominating the man in front of me. Y'all have to double team me, and when you do double team me, Nick Bolton is coming in here and getting sacks. So just get off the field. You get off the field, you get 15 a ball, and at worst we take 4 minutes off the clock, and it's go time for Indianapolis at that point because I'm pretty sure they wouldn't have any timeouts left. So if 95 just gets off the field after an amazing play, that was the thing that bothered me with that. It was an amazing play he made to get the sack. Amazing. And then and I was depending on him to get us back off the field on the other third down, and it didn't happen, Mykell.
It was, for me, it was a few plays, man. You know how the game of football works. It was a few plays. It was, of course, the missed field goal. You know, you had one of the worst calls I've seen with the fake punt. I mean, a fake field goal, 4th and 10. You might as well leave the ball. I got
thoughts about that too.
Leave the ball in 15's hand and let him try to, you know, make a play, maybe cause a penalty or something. You know, Travis Kelce, he just caught the similar pass earlier in the game in the end zone. You make that catch, 24-13, game is over. So it was a bunch of little things that, you know, helped cause this loss. But it all started. It became a fluky game when Sky Moore dropped the, you know, muffed the punt to where it gave them any type of life. Like I said, if the Chiefs, you just field that punt, you go down, you go get 7, it takes all of their energy away. They're like, dang, we're in for a long one. And how the defense was playing, the Chiefs probably win that game very comfortably. But, man, just those little mistakes happen. You know, it's a game of football. You look at the Buffalo Bills game. It was a lot of little things that caused, you know, these L's for these AFC powerhouses. And, you know, the Colts got the Chiefs today.
Hey, no, I want to jump in here and talk about that fake field goal. I wasn't mad at the call for the fake field goal, but the thing I want to point out is that before the show, we talked about Frank Wright and the Colts being in desperation mode and thinking that, okay, Harrison Bucker, he's not in the game. He's not going to play. So if they do get 40 yards and back, look out for a fake field goal, or look out for this, or look out for such and such. Look out for Tommy Townsend doing this. He's been on tape now. I think he's done 2 other fake punt passes that were or fake field goals that were successful. I know he did a fake punt, but anywho, that's a credit to Frank Reich and his staff in preparing his team, because they were all over it. Nobody was open. There was nothing that could have been done. Tommy Townsend definitely wasn't going to run it for a first down. So that's just a credit to Frank Reich and his coaching staff preparing the Colts and their special teams for a fake.
Quick question for you two, Brian and Noah. Do you think if you let Amendola kick that first field goal, make or miss, it kind of like just gives him an opportunity where he could try to correct himself on the next one that he got? I think them taking him off the field and deciding that play might have just really shot his confidence. Like, damn.
The fake field goal you're referring to?
The fake field goal. So if you just have him kick, whether he miss or make, he gets the second try, gets to kind of like try to because I believe it was on the right hash as well. So at least he would have been able to correct himself. But, it's a 33-yarder. You're supposed to make that field goal. But I just felt that if you're not going to keep it in 15 hand, just let him kick. If he missed, the defense was playing well, see what they can do. But I don't think it was the time for a fake field goal.
I mean, I'm just all over the map with this, but after he misses that extra point, Amendola, I'm done with him. You're on the bet. It's over. I can't do it anymore.
I'd rather have Justin Reed kick, to be honest. I'm serious, and I'm serious when I say that. And Justin Reed isn't a kicker, and I know there are certain mechanics and it's a certain skill set that comes with kicking, but he has it. We've seen him do it in preseason, in the regular season, rather week 1, right? Didn't he kick a field goal? Mm-hmm. Why not Justin Reed?
No, I mean, this comment comes in here. Amendola's garbage. Chris should be ashamed of himself. The game was in hand, shaking my damn head. Yeah. The funny story that I saw, I think it was from Charles Goldman on Twitter, said that the Chiefs had Chase McLaughlin, the Colts kicker, in to try out along with Matt Amendola, and they chose Amendola, and McLaughlin makes a 43 and 51 yarder, and Amendola's missing all over the place. But yeah, I mean, the special teams. And if you got Alex Smith, maybe you can go with the Tommy Townsend fake field goal, throw it out there. But when you have Mahomes, you have 15. If you're going to go for it, 15's got to be on the field making that throw, making the decisions. I know they said Juju Smith-Schuster, there was maybe some miscommunication there at the end of the game on that route, and he just didn't run it crisply enough. And the offensive line didn't have a great game. Last week when we played Thursday Night Football with the Chargers, it was a team win. Offense, defense, special teams was coming up big. This is really a team loss. You can't really give it to the entire defense, where everyone's kind of looking at number 95 there, Chris Jones, running his mouth and giving us that huge penalty. But the offensive line, the receivers, let's check out our missed Tyreek Hill meter now. Yes. That's big for me. I was 10 out of 10 on our show Arrowhead Allies on Tuesday. Hopefully you guys join me there now. Man, just everything went wrong. Everything that could go wrong did go wrong. Travis Kelce dropping balls. This receiving core not getting open. Juju Smith-Schuster, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, Sky Moore, Mykell Hardman. I was just disappointed in really everything I saw out there. I didn't really see anything positive to point at. It was gross.
Offensively, I was disappointed in the run game. And I was, I thought the play calling was decent, but I didn't think the run plays were there for me the way I wanted to see it. Pacheco, I like the versatility that we had that we put in. I like the fact that we switch it up a lot, but I was not happy with the play calls. I didn't feel like they didn't commit enough to the run. I really felt like, and then coming out of halftime, which, we got to talk about that as well. Eric Bieniemy and Patrick Mahomes, barking at each other, which I didn't think was a big deal, but everybody else does. But it seemed like after that, I don't know, man, there really wasn't a big commitment to the run game. And I think that affected early down situations to where, okay, third and long, and we were not good on third downs, by the way, today. The Colts were good on third down, but we weren't. And that affected the game and why we only scored 17 points.
Yeah, I think that the run calls, I just don't like the play calls, like all of the shotgun. Sometimes with this type of O-line looks like they're built for the run. I don't see why sometimes they don't just say, hey, let's kind of just pound the ball and get us a 8-minute drive in, and then open up for the play action. Like all of these runs for like Clyde out of the shotgun, he doesn't have the speed for them to be doing that. So I don't get why they don't try to switch it up when it comes to that. But this loss is inexcusable. We can't make any excuses for it. It was just a bad team game play. The defense did their thing for the most part until the very end. You just can't have like the mistakes you have, a muff punt, penalty from your star defensive lineman who's a veteran, drop touchdown pass that would have finished the game. Like, you just can't have those mistakes. So it's early in the season. You get to learn from this and really take away. Maybe next game we might see more Sky Moore, instead of, maybe MVS or Mykell. But they got to do something new to bring a spark, because Tampa Bay is coming to Arrowhead, and it is going to be another tough game for the Chiefs.
Yeah, I mean, if you see me out in Kansas City with a clipboard and a pen, please stop by. I'm going to be out there having people sign a petition to get rid of special teams in the National Football League. This isn't just a one-week thing. I mean, this has been my entire life. I've never understood soccer players going out there. The Colts get to win a football game because their soccer players were better than our soccer players. Sky Moore back there trying to catch a ball that's kicked 60 yards in the air. A roof is open. He's trying to judge where the ball's coming through scaffolding in the sky.
It's a part of the game, Noah.
It shouldn't be part of the game. We got football players out here trying to decide a football game, not soccer players. I'm done. I can't have it.
Nah,
man.
I disagree with you on that.
Soccer team's better than ours.
Nah, man. Look, man, you got 3 phases of the game.
Sign the petition.
And it is what it is. We should have prepared better. During the week, there was noise about, oh, well, Dave Todd feels comfortable with Sky Moore and he likes his decision making or whatever. I hate putting inexperienced kick returners back there. I don't think he did it in college. I don't think he did it in college at all. And it's not like Mykell is wide receiver 1. I don't understand why Mykell cannot return these punts and kicks. I don't get it.
Yeah, I have no idea. Like, if he's going to get 10 targets, then I can understand. But the guy is not getting many targets. Put your best, punt returner back there. Allow him to do his thing. At least he can catch the ball to where, at least he can have that happen. Especially if there's a chance for it to be in the red zone, I would, put Mykell back there just to be safe. But, the coaches made their decisions. It's a very embarrassing loss, but hey, they got to figure it out. Hopefully they can bounce back with this next week.
Hey, and by the way, we're going to the scene of the crime of Super Bowl 55. Tampa Bay is not coming to Arrowhead. We're going to Tampa. Yikes.
That makes it even tougher.
Clint comes in here. Sky and Mykell are the same lackluster human. Can't possibly have missed on both. Did so. And I was talking.
Okay, now I'm not.
That, so I've got to jump on. I got to jump on the grenade here so that Clint doesn't get the whole blast, because I had brought that up to him during the game that we possibly missed on both Mykell Hartman and Sky Moore, and should have DK Metcalf and George Pickens here. And then the loss of Tyreek Hill isn't as devastating, but instead we have Mykell and Sky, and we're feeling it more.
Listen, man, the book is too early on Sky. It's too early. It's too early on Sky. We haven't seen him develop enough into any type of wide receiver. I'm just going to stay on him about this punt return situation. Get him out.
Yeah, get him out.
Get him out right now. Put him in the slot, wide receiver 4, whatever you got to do. Get him out, okay?
Man, ASAP, please. I know we missed Trent McDuffie. He can be another guy that can be back there, but man, yeah, we can't have Sky back there if he's not going to catch the ball, Especially
Adam Cole. We need to bring in a power back. We have Ronald Jones.
We got one.
All backs are
Pacheco.
Fine. It's just the calls. It's just the run calls. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just good on the short yardage, giving it to Michael Burton over and over again. We're not going to run the QB sneak. I'm done with the cute plays. I'm done with anything else. Just Michael Burton up the middle. He gets it every time. I'm good.
And we scored on a short touchdown run with Clyde. It's just, they just don't really go into running the ball. That's just what it is with, a Patrick Mahomes led offense. So it just comes down to, little stuff. And if Travis Kelce catches the ball, which he does most of the times, and then a field goal kicker makes a 33-yarder, the Chiefs win. We're sitting here drinking champagne, taking shots, and we're having a good time. So it's just the little things that it shows you that you can lose games in the NFL by the smallest things, and it came and got the Chiefs today.
Clint says here, who is our best receiver? I have no answer. I am joining him in that. I mean, I guess by default it's Juju, but is he a good receiver? Is he your number one? Is he who you want out there? No. Ryan?
Yeah, not against top corners.
I'm not looking at it like that. I don't think that Travis Kelce's our best receiver.
Mm-hmm.
That's our best receiver, period. And Clint is obviously shocked by this loss. But to be honest, fellas, I mean, if you could tell by my comments towards the end of the pregame show, I'm not shocked by this loss. Am I disappointed? Yes, I am. Highly disappointed that the Chiefs would allow this to happen, to give them false confidence early on in the game and to play down to your competition. I'm severely disappointed, but I am not shocked that we lost this game.
Yeah,
not shocked at all.
It was a perfect trap game. And, the Chiefs beat themselves. The Chiefs really, truly beat themselves by, with drop passes, a terrible penalty. And then what about Orlando Brown, man? We got to talk about this guy.
He didn't look good today.
We talked about him earlier.
Rich was texting me during the game.
So. Yeah, he didn't look good. He didn't. He
looked like a right tackle. So the Chiefs have to figure something out when it comes to that, finding ways to help him and things like that. Because man, Pat was really having to be on the move too much, more than my liking. And that kind of ruined some of the timing for some of the routes. And it came back to bite us today.
Yeah, and you wonder what Trey Smith is dealing with that ankle. He was getting thrown around a couple of times, got run over by DeForest Buckner, a really good defensive tackle. So there's no shame in that, but still.
Andrew Wiley, Highway 77. Y'all know we talked about him before the game. Yeah. And his highway had no detours today. Zero. It was a free lane for you. Come on through.
No, but you do expect that somewhat with Andrew Wiley. You don't expect that from a guy you traded a first-round pick for and who's demanding top left tackle money. And Orlando Brown just gets beat around the edge too much. A lot of people were on Twitter were talking about he was getting away with some false starts and still getting beat. So that's not good. That's not something you want to hear. Is this a bigger sign of things to come? Do you think this is a blip on the radar, guys? I'll go to you, Mykell, first, and then Brian, you can pick up after that.
No,
is this a blip on the radar? Is this something that's going to carry with us?
I just think that it's a bad early season loss. It's just one of those L's. We remember last year Green Bay got smoked early against the Saints, and it looked like, oh, man, they're done, and then they go off and win the most games in the NFL. So I just think it's one of those bad L's that the Chiefs can, take from it and learn from it. Maybe we may learn that, Scott Moore, we're not putting your ass back there. Chris Jones, you got to get yourself together. What other ways can we get these receivers open to, catch the football? So I wouldn't be in panic mode as of yet. We're still in first place of the division. Buffalo took a L to Miami. So clearly we see that it's going to be, open season in the AFC. So it's just, you learn from it. You bounce back next week. We come and we beat Tampa Bay next week. Everybody's going to forget all about this. So I think it's just just an early L.
Hey, no need to panic. It's a blip on the radar. I think the Chiefs learned a lot about themselves today. This is one of those early season, okay, get yourself together now. This is a Rocket World concentration, get yourself together game. Let's go back to 2019 during the Super Bowl run. Sunday Night Football against the Colts. Lost. I think that was like the first game to where, Patrick Mahomes didn't get at least 20 points. The next week against the Texans, lost. Chiefs went on to win the Super Bowl that year. No need to panic, no need to worry, but there is cause for concern, A, with the special teams, B, with that O-line not playing as well as they had been playing recently. And then the receivers were not getting separation today. But I would put that more on the Colts having an aggressive defense, having a good game plan today against the Chiefs. I'm not necessarily going to press the panic button on it, but it is a cause for concern.
Clint, always one for optimism. So I got to get this in here just to lift people's spirits. I'm driving away from Lucas Oil, properly panicked, likely to never recover, as my confidence level against Tampa is about a 3.5. So always one for optimism. That'll lift your spirits. Nothing to worry about. He also goes on to say, Brian, this is shocking. An 0-1-1 team
not.
With statue Matt Ryan. Chiefs win turnover battle technically when it mattered. Colts shut out by the Jags last week. It just cannot possibly occur.
Look, it's not shocking in the sense. If you look at the context of the whole entire situation, you got to put football's an emotional game. Mm-hmm. It is like those guys are getting paid. Like I said in the pregame show, they're getting paid just like how the Chiefs are getting paid. They are professionals too. And they weren't going to go down without a fight. They love their head coach. They don't want to see him get fired. So they were going to come balls to the wall. And the Chiefs just did not match the fight today. Sometimes, man, it's all about the fight and the dog and not the dog in the fight.
Yeah, we definitely saw that today. And that's is some cause for concern.
You got to bring it every week. People, if you pay attention to Andy Reid news conferences, his press conferences, he'll say, we look forward to the challenge of playing whatever team. It doesn't matter if it's the Jets, Jaguars, Lions, the 2012 Chiefs, whoever. He always says we look forward to the challenge. And people will laugh and smirk at that or make fun of it or whatever. But it's true, bro. Like every week it's a challenge because we are in the National Football League. Period.
Yep.
Yeah, very true. We got Warren coming in here. Real talk, be shining. And that is in Mr. Positivity's back. The Colts weren't exactly Russell Crowe and Gladiator out there, guys.
We all picked who didn't pick the Colts to come in first?
Yeah, a couple people had the Titans, but I definitely I changed my tune after the first 2 weeks. But
yeah, they could easily be 2-1 if some things go right the first game, but it's just one of those L's, man. I'm not taking too much from it. Now, 2 weeks from now, if we're talking about these same things, then I'm going to be more like, whoa, we started 2-0 and we just lost 3 straight games. Something is going on, but we can easily be 3-1 next week, and everybody's going to be back on the ship saying the Chiefs are the best team in the AFC and things like that. So, just going to wait and see.
Yeah, and I guess now's a good time to get into the little spat argument, whatever disagreement you want to say there at halftime. At the close of halftime, they run the ball, run the clock out. Patrick Mahomes is wondering why he wasn't given the opportunity to go for it, to throw the ball, to try and make something happen there. And Eric Bieniemy's just telling him, "We're good, we're good, we're good. Like it's fine." And I thought Patrick wasn't listening to that, so Andy Reid was kind of pushing him away. Get to the locker room. Let's not have this out here in the open that the cameras did catch. But Mykell, what'd you make of that?
Yeah, I thought it was a good idea. Like the D line was really attacking, and they were getting some hits on Pat. And you look at it, you're up, I believe, 14-10 at that point. You're getting the ball at half. The expectation is like, we're good. We're going to get it at half, go and get 7. And, we're doing our thing. So I believe it was a good call. And people are going to make it this big thing in ESPN and Fox and all these places. But it's a super competitive quarterback who feels that he can do anything. And a fiery coach who is just letting them know, like, hey, this is my plan. This is what we're going to do. And I thought it was a good idea. I saw him getting hit. No, guys weren't getting open, so it was no point. We already saw what Amendola would have did anyway. What you think he was going to do with a 50-yarder? Missed another field goal. So it was a good choice. I believe it's going to be all washed away.
Well, look, I'll say this. In a competitive environment, you're going to have that. And no matter what sport, or whatever. It could be a workplace environment. If you got creative minds who are competitive and you got folks that feel like they're literally the best in the world at what they do, you're going to get that. And I like the demeanor of Eric Bieniemy and how he was calm. Because clearly Patrick, he wasn't as calm. He was a
He
little
was being a
fired up.
competitive prick, as
But
Eric Bieniemy
yeah,
was.
and that's what I was getting to. Eric Bieniemy said that right out of his mouth when asked about describing Patrick Mahomes. He called him a competitive prick, so he knows who he's dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
And people are going to make a big deal out of this, especially now since we lost. Since the Chiefs lost, this thing is going to become a major headline and a major storyline. And fellas, I hate to say this because I love this man so much. I love his passion. I love how he approaches the game. I love the fact that he's not afraid to get in his player's ass, especially the best player in the game. But guys, this is the beginning of the end for Eric Bieniemy as the offensive coordinator for Kansas City Chiefs. I think this will be his last year. I think you're going to have people pointing out to not only him arguing with Patrick Mahomes, but he's had spats with Travis Kelce and a couple of other players as well. But I think visually, I think this is going to be the thing that really seals the deal for him being the OC, especially if the offense isn't as productive as people would like it to be. Like Clint has pointed out with the receivers, I don't know whose fault that is. Is that the receiver's fault or is it the scheme? Is it the play call at the time versus a certain type of defense, or are you not adjusting to what the defense is throwing out to you? Whatever it may be, I think this is the beginning of the end for Bieniemy and the Chiefs.
Yeah, I probably think that they need to move in a new direction after this season, but we have a lot of season left to go, so that'll be determined down the road. But yeah, this receiver situation, I just can't really get over it. Like we got to have that Tyreek out there. We've got to have that other weapon. You see them focusing on Kelce. They should have more on that first touchdown. They were going after Mykell in the flat for some reason, left Kelce open there, but I'm not sure that these guys are going to get the separation that we need. And maybe it is a little bit of the scheme, because we did see them scheming Pringle and Robinson open. If they can scheme them open, they can scheme open a Juju and an MVS. So, man, Mykell, I wish Mykell was on with us. I have a few words for that man, but he's dealing with that heel issue. Mykell, what do you see in this offense moving forward? And do you think they'll be able to get on track and become a Super Bowl caliber offense?
Yeah, because we have to remember that, it's a lot of new guys and it's only week 3. So, it's a lot of, they have to get out there and play with each other more. And then it comes down to, the O-line. Like they can draw up these certain routes if they can trust that Pat is going to be protected. But if he's always on the scramble and on the move, it takes away, the efficiency of the offense because it's scramble mode, So I think that as time goes on, we're going to kind of see if any of the receivers are struggling, they're going to be like, hey, Sky, let's get you in. You're going to see, more tight ends. I don't know why we didn't see more Jody Fortson today.
I was calling for that too, yeah.
Yeah, which was very interesting. But, I think that, Andy Reid is going to sit back. Gus Bradley has had, some good games against Pat, and Pat has had some good games against him. But, they're just going to figure out some things. I think they're going to try to find a way to get the running game going a little more. But, I wouldn't panic. Aaron Rodgers said it best years ago, relax. The Chiefs go off and win 10 straight. Everybody's going to come back and be like, oh, yeah, that Colts game didn't mean as much. But I'm just going to relax until we see more. This is only the first quarter of the season. And if we can get out of it 3-1, hey, I would take that as a W.
Hey, man, usually when you have a Harrison Butker in the game, it kind of covers these mistakes up a little bit, doesn't it? He gets a couple field goals. He gets the extra point in there. And we kind of forget that we struggled against, the Indianapolis Colts. There was a game, speaking of the Super Bowl season, I don't know if you remember this, Detroit Lions. It was like week 4.
Yeah.
And we were supposed to go up there and dominate Detroit, the lowly Lions. It was a tough game. We need a hook and ladder from Kelce to McCoy to put us over the hump and win that game.
Mm-hmm.
So no, you're right on. You're right on with it, man. Mykell, don't press the panic button, y'all. It's an early season lapse. The Chiefs are riding their high horse. And here's another thing, I want to dispel. And yes, it is semi-true when Andy Reid has time to prepare for opponents, he is, super better. He has a supreme record, as a matter of fact, when he has extra time to prepare for opponents, off the bye week and all that type of stuff. Mm-hmm. But man, we can forget about all that now, okay? Because he had 10 days to prepare against the Colts, and the special teams just really, really, really dropped the ball. So I don't know if that's on Andy Reid or Dave Taub.
Yeah.
But of course, we know Harrison Butker, though, the great eraser. Yeah. If he's here, we're not even thinking about this. We're like, oh, okay, close game against the Colts. They're back against the wall. Let's focus on Tampa. But it's a totally different storyline heading into week 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's try and find some positives here. We've talked enough about the negatives, and I kind of wanted to go more into Tyreek Hill and how much we're going to miss him, but I'm going to skip over that and try to nurse my wounds here and look at some positives from the game. And I think to do that, we're going to have to go on the defensive side of the ball. Yeah. What we saw from Frank Clark getting a sack, Nick Bolton getting through for a sack, Carlos Dunlap sack, strip fumble, Snead the same thing. Good coverage from Jalen Watson again in this game. The rookie shows up again. We had a little issues. We saw Juan Thornhill not able to make a play on that last touchdown. He was right there, but what are you going to do with a 6'7" tight end, Jelani Woods out of Virginia, coming up with that big play there at the end? But Mykell, we'll start with you, and then Brian, you can take it. Your positives from this game.
Yeah, I just think that we have something with our defense this year. I think the speed that we have, like our pass rush is clearly improved compared to last year. And our linebackers, man, Harris goes out and get 12 tackles, and he's making plays. Bolton with 2 sacks and 10-plus tackles. So we have something defensively. We're going to get McDuffie back, which is going to, help us to where maybe we can get Fenton off the field, because it looks like teams are just attacking him. But I think our defense is something. I just really saw this as a fluke game. Like, once the Sky Moore thing happened, I was just like, man, we might see some craziness with this game. And that's exactly what we saw. But I'm very encouraged by how the defense is playing in the pass rush and just everything that on the defensive end.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to stick with the defense. I want to give you 3 numbers. 47, who you just mentioned with Harris. 35, Watson. Another great game. Like, I think this game was way better than the Chargers game as a whole. He was fantastic. And 99, Colin Sanders. He was moving up and down the line, making tackles and disrupting plays and rerouting running lanes and such. Jonathan Taylor, he didn't get off today. They played a fantastic game with the run defense. The pressures, Steve Spagnuolo, he almost won us the game today. Those pressures coming off the edge with the linebacker. Snead got in there and was getting in there with the blitz. Watson, he was getting pressure. So I love the game plan going into the game defensively. Smother the receivers, stop the run, be a stonewall. There was a lot of man coverage out there by the Chiefs as well. So, man, those numbers, though, 47, 35, and 99, they all came to play. And one more, man, you mentioned him too, Mykell. Nick Bolton. Man, he's a dog. He's a monster. On that 4th and short, where the Colts tried to get that run, and Nick Bolton came up and made the stop, and that's credit to yes, exactly, to that push that inside that Chris Jones and Colin Saunders got, that penetrated that LOS, and Dunlap was in there penetrating the LOS on that play as well to allow Nick Bolton to have that free lane to go up and stop that 4th and 1. That was a magnificent play by the entire defense, man.
Yeah, I loved what I saw from L'Jarius Snead out there, just kind of roaming, going all over the field. I've always said he's our best blitzer, best kind of pass rusher coming off the edge there. And, yeah, I love what I saw to Watson. He gave up that ball to Alec Pierce late in the game over in the sideline on that last drive for the game-winning touchdown eventually to Jelani Woods. But he had a really good game, and Justin Reed got in there, and I like what I saw on the defensive line. Carlos Dunlap, I thought he maybe even should have got some more play ahead of Karlaftis. Like you mentioned on that 4th and 1, he got Taylor around the legs as Bolton was getting his arms, getting him up high. So some positives there, but man, we're just going to have to see more out of this offense. I don't know what the special team stuff is going to do, because we don't know really right now who to put back there as a punt returner. Maybe they can just go back to Mykell. We need to Fire Matt Amendola. He's doing number 19 wrong in that jersey that belongs to Joe Montana here in Kansas City. I know a lot lot of other guys have worn it. Jeremy Maclin had it.
Kyle Williams. How about him?
Yes.
Yeah.
We've seen enough of Matt Amendola in that 19. I can't handle it.
During the call, they were saying that it looks like Butker may be back next week. So, hopefully people don't realize how important a kicker is ask, the Ravens, where that, hey, we get past their 50, we have a good chance to at least get 3. So it changes the way that, you kind of approach the offense, and we wouldn't have to do a 4th and 10 fake, if we have the butt kicker out there. So the Chiefs going to be all right, man. It's a long season. So, I didn't expect the Chiefs to go undefeated. So I knew there were going to be some L's that they were going to take that, I was going to be like, ooh, I wish we would have won that game. But it's all something that you learn from so that the next game or next similar game, you won't make the same types of mistakes.
I want to answer that question that Tiger put in. Why didn't we try to use a timeout or two to save some clock and rest a D? That's a good question. But what I'm thinking strategically was, okay, my defense is just going to stop you. Okay, yeah, waste the time. Go ahead and waste as much as you want. And I think that they were trying to do. How did the Colts have one or two timeouts left going in when it was less than 30 seconds? I think they had 2 timeouts. Yeah, so I think the Chiefs were in the business of putting everything on the defense. They were out there playing well all game. And so, you put it on your defense. They didn't live up to it, at the end, giving up that touchdown in man coverage. But I wasn't mad at that. And for the fact of that, my insurance policy is we have 3 timeouts. That's my insurance policy. We got 3 timeouts, and they need a touchdown. They need 4. And perhaps if we do give up a score, we still have our time plus the timeouts, and we have Patrick Mahomes. So we only need a field goal, and that penalty was big which ended up, not doing anything for us. We couldn't take advantage with, on the return of Pacheco, and then we got the 15 yards added on to it at the 30. So that just helped us out even more. We only had 18 seconds left or something like that to get, 30 or 40 yards or so for a field goal. So that's what me as a coach, what I'm thinking going into that situation.
Yeah, you just look at this as a missed opportunity, Mykell. I know you said like you're expecting us not to go undefeated and some losses where you're like, man, but when you look at this schedule, how the Chiefs have a tougher schedule than anyone else, especially in the AFC West, and you feel like you took one there from the Chargers. A lot of people thought, the Cardinals, we're not sure what we're going to get out of them. And then the Chargers, you're probably going to go 1-1 there. When you go 2-0, you're like, okay, now we have a chance. We could be 3-0, a game ahead of the Bills and the Chargers. And you let one slip that you shouldn't have. The Colts coming off a 24-0 shellacking blowout to the Jags. And then you just let this game slip away from the very moment the word go when the game kicks off, and you got Sky Moore muffing a punt there, and then it's just off to the races. Darius Harris, we said he had a good game, but he was lost on that touchdown to start to Jelani Woods. Starts it off, finishes it, and they cap those 2 touchdowns, and that's the name of the game right there.
Yeah. And the tight AFC, it hurts. Yeah. Go ahead, Mykell. My bad, man. I just had to jump in and say that, man. The tight AFC, this one hurts, bro.
It does hurt, and you just expect the offense to perform better, so they do have to go back and fix some things. So let's see what now this makes this next week's game that much more intriguing, because it's like will we see anything fixed, or will we be having the same talk after next Sunday's game about the Chiefs?
Man, this is one you had in the bag. And those tiebreakers coming up at week 17, week 18.
Aaron's back.
This isn't gonna be good. And Aaron Van Hoy coming on again with this Colts Nation. Y'all earned the dub. You earned the dub. Yeah. Congratulations. But hopefully, we can run it back come January.
Ooh, they would be lucky to do something like that. But, we will see. I think Miami is the only undefeated team. Tiger was asking, are they the only undefeated team in the AFC? I believe so.
Yep. Buffalo lost and we lost.
Yeah. Tyreek can laugh now. We'll see who's laughing best and laughing last at the end of the year. but he is definitely laughing now while I am crying because I want him back and he's not here, and he's 3-0 in Miami.
I want to see when the Bills play the Dolphins at home.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that because, this Dolphins offense, it is real cute right now. I'm telling you, while we got sunny skies and it's still September, autumn just hit last week, but it's still looking good and fresh in Miami and other parts of the country as the Jaguars just scored a touchdown on the Chargers to take a 12-0 lead. Look, it's going to get chilly in Buffalo. And I don't know if this Dolphins offense is sustainable throughout an entire NFL season, especially, when the wind kicks in and it gets really cold. Are those receivers going to be as fast? Are they going to be able to get off press coverage, especially with the refs going to be, calling it loosey-goosey in the playoffs? The refs necessarily don't call a lot of.
He doesn't have a strong arm in September, let alone December.
Exactly. So, I'll be interested to see if that Dolphins offense can last through the cold months.
Yeah, we'll see what this thing looks like moving forward as we go to Tampa, and then we get the Raiders at home, thankfully, and then Buffalo at home after that. We will see what this season holds. I am officially worried. I am hitting a panic button. I know I shouldn't. I know I'm not supposed to. I know you guys aren't, but that's just how I am. I go week by week with these things, and I hated everything I saw out there today. Other than some good plays by some defensive guys we mentioned, but I did not like a lot. I can't say the defense as a whole because we had Chris Jones being a knucklehead out there, helping to cost us the game along with Sky Moore and some decisions and Matt Amendola. And
Noah, what's your favorite place to go eat? Just name whatever place.
Probably Buca de Beppo on the Plaza.
Go there tonight. What's your favorite thing to order from Bebe de Buca? I hope I said it right. What is your favorite thing to eat off the menu?
Cheese manicotti.
Get you a big, nice, fresh cheese manicotti. All right. What's your favorite drink to get from Quick Trip?
Probably just a Sprite. I just go with a Sprite. Yeah.
All right. We'll get you the nicest, freshest Sprite that you can find. Matter of fact, go to McDonald's. Get you a McDonald's Sprite. Do a double dipper. Go to one place to go to the place on the plaza.
Oh, I do that quite often.
Get you that, and then go to McDonald's and go get you a nice Sprite, because the Sprite, if you throw it in the air, it could be categorized as a weapon or something. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So just get you a nice ice cold Sprite. Get you one of those things that what is it called again? A cheese what?
Cheese manicotti.
Get that cheese manicotti and enjoy yourself, and fill yourself to your sleep tonight, and forget about this L that we took today, and focus on the Buccaneers. We're on to Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all we can do.
We're going to do articles though too, and Skip Bayless won't be on to Tampa Bay. He will be focusing on this Colts game, and so I'm going to have to write articles about that and listen to that to see what he says. So.
Just drown yourself in it, Noah. You'll be okay, bro.
Yeah, we'll be all right.
Is this the worst loss of the Mahomes era?
No,
it's going to be third, maybe. I don't know. I'm panicking.
That 2019 loss was
got the Bucks, we got the Bengals, we've got the Patriots, we got some playoff losses there.
Yeah, the worst loss was
first off, the Super Bowl. Okay, yes. Nothing gets bigger than that. But the Titans game last year, I hated that game. You remember that? Us at Titans, where we got our ass whooped up and down the field.
Yeah.
that game, like I was mystified after that game. I'm like, what the hell was that?
Yeah.
So
no L was worse than of course the Super Bowl is number one, but AFC Championship, like you're dominating that entire game. We're probably the favorites going into the Super Bowl, and you take that L. So that's why even regular season loss, we lost at the Titans. Our Super Bowl year, we lost at home versus the Colts. So
Ravens last year with Clyde fumbling was
tough. Hey, Mykell, imagine being at the AFC Championship game, right? Man. And you with your wife, who's from Cincinnati, right? And then on top of that, you bet 200 bones to the man in front of you. Day, golly.
That day was so bad for me because when I got on the plane, we were up 17-0. When I got off the plane, we lost the game. I'm like, what is going on,
bro? Okay, so first, let's dive into this. This is a post game show, but let's dive into why the hell were you on a plane during the AFC Championship game?
Because I had a business trip to Texas that I had to take care of. So believe me, I'm doing both at the meeting. Like, all right, so I got to get back to LA to hopefully celebrate this Chiefs going to another Super Bowl, and it didn't happen.
Well, that's on you. You deserve that pain.
Yeah. I still cry tears from that game, man.
You'll be okay. No, it's not that bad, bro.
My moment as we crumbled down the stretch, not running the ball where they're dropping 8 men back. So I think I would have rather been on a plane.
You look, we in Chiefs Kingdom. This is why we are Chiefs Kingdom. We've been through worse Colts losses than this.
Yes,
way worse Colts losses.
And this is Mahomes.
I told you
this anymore.
Noah, you got to take it back for the beginning of Arrowhead Allies this week. You know what I'm about to say. You need to go back and take my horseshoe comment that you and Clint made fun of, right? Oh, it's Mahomes. Oh, it's the new Chiefs. Oh, it doesn't apply. I told you about that damn horseshoe and what it meant to the Chiefs and how it's never good for us. I cannot stand playing the Colts. I hate playing these bastards here or there. They have terrorized us for our entire lifetime, and you two still didn't want to believe it. But I'll bet you believe it now. Not you, Mykell, but Clint and Noah.
Yeah, I hope we get to see him again because – you know, the Chiefs do well. Like, I was so excited the year we won the Super Bowl because it was all revenge games. And I know that Pat plays great when it's revenge games. So now we got a revenge game that if we see the Colts again, Pat might go for 500 yards and 6 touchdowns, you know, in Arrowhead. So it's going to be all right, man. We're going to be all right, Clint, Noah. Things are going
My fault. I believe that Mahomes was above this and Andy Reid. I thought this era was above crap like this, but it's not. I have to endure it still. I thought when we left Alex Smith and Mahomes took the reins, I was done with this. But no, it's back and it's into my loving heart. I'm used to it. So just come on back. I've got all the feels washing back over me of the 1995 Lynn Elliott missing all those
not
kicks.
That game.
Andrew Luck over the top when it's a fumble and he jumps right into his arms. It's all washing over me. I'm just going to start just expecting this. I wasn't expecting this. And so this may be the worst regular season loss of the Patrick Mahomes era, of the Andy Reid era in Kansas City. For me, at least, in my opinion, it is for me because I was expecting to roll. This team is awful. I don't care what they have, what they're doing, who they're playing for, their coach, they're at home. They've gotten kind of just disrespected the last 2 weeks from the Jags and Texans, and we're 0-1-1, but we have Mahomes, we have Kelsey, we have Andy Reid, and I wasn't expecting it, and I can't handle it. I can't deal with it.
Okay. No, before we part, let me end you with this silver lining. Okay, the Raiders lost. Raiders are 0-3. They lost to the Titans.
Raiders are trash.
The Chargers are losing 0-13 to the Jaguars. Okay, and then tonight, you think the Broncos are beating the 49ers? Because I sure in the hell don't.
No.
Yeah.
So this week can be a complete wash. It can be a complete wash if the Jaguars handle their business and if the 49ers handle their business tonight. Everything will be okay, fellas. See? Everything's better. Everything's better. It's okay.
I think 20 steps ahead, and I'm not good after a loss because then I just start
week by week, baby.
Mountain up, and here we go.
Week by week, Noah. Is it week by week? Week by week.
We were 3-4 last year, whatever, and so I was
Super Bowl season. We won the Super Bowl. We were 6-4.
6-4. Yep.
6-4 going into the Mexico City game against the Chargers. Didn't lose again. It's okay. Yep. And the Bills, my cousin, yes, exactly. The Bills lost. We're not worried about the Dolphins. Nobody's worried about the Dolphins. The Bills lost. Everything's okay. It's okay. Trust me.
All right. Apparently everything is okay. So everything is awesome, I think was a song in a Lego movie out there somewhere. So just watch that tonight as well and just sing to yourself, everything is awesome, because we have Mahomes, we have Andy Reid, we have Kelsey. There was a moment when Mahomes was running and I think he stumbled or fell. I thought maybe his knee buckled and
I saw
there was going to be an issue with his knee, and there wasn't. So we got out relatively healthy. Harrison Butker's coming back. And I guess everything is going to be fine. Brian tells me that. He told me to be scared of that Colts logo, and he was right. And he's telling me everything's fine. And so I'm going to just bank on him being right again with that. So I'm going to try and calm down, have some cheese manicotti, some McDonald's Sprite, and take a deep breath.
But Mike Williams just got a tutty.
Yeah, I saw it.
13.
What?
Mike Williams, Chargers. He's just got a tutty.
13-7.
Look at the Jaguars. They're going to handle business.
Everything's not fine. I'm panicking again.
All right. Duval. Go Jaguars. It's okay.
Now I got to worry about the Jaguars in the AFC. Oh, I'm panicking, everyone.
You'll be okay.
Well, for Noah Groniger, Brian B. Shinen, the Money Badger, Mykell Matthew, thank you for tuning in to Chatting Up the Chiefs, our post-game show. We hope that helped you feel a little bit better after this devastating loss. But, man, we're going to get things back on track. Brian says everything is fine. Check us out on all Starcade Media social media platforms. And we thank you for tuning in. Until next time, go Chiefs.
Go Chiefs, baby.
Cheers.
All right,